This is the most brilliant, mind-bending bank heist ever executed, not because of how much was stolen, but because of how flawlessly it was carried out. A masterful plan that left law enforcement completely baffled. And it all begins with Dalton Russell, staring directly at you and declaring, "Recently, I planned the perfect bank robbery." Dalton and his crew arrive at the Manhattan Trust Bank during the morning rush, seamlessly blending into the chaos of Wall Street disguised as painters. Dressed in overalls and carrying paint cans, they appear so ordinary that no one gives them a second glance. But beneath the surface, every move is calculated. The moment Dalton steps inside, his calm, composed demeanor masks the storm about to erupt. In seconds, he disables the security cameras with expert precision, while his team swiftly secures the doors, trapping everyone inside. A wave of panic ripples through the room as employees and customers drop to the floor at gunpoint. The robbers' precise and methodical movements make one thing clear. They have either done this before or have planned for every possible scenario. Outside, a police officer spots smoke pouring from the bank. Uncertain whether it's an accident or something more sinister, he cautiously approaches. But then, Dalton appears at the entrance. With chilling composure, he announces, "I have hostages. If the police come any closer, people will die." The officer immediately radios for backup. Moments later, a fleet of police cars surrounds the building, sirens piercing the tense Manhattan air. News of the robbery spreads like wildfire, drawing a growing crowd of onlookers. Meanwhile, Arthur Case, the powerful owner of Manhattan Trust Bank, receives the news. Normally unshaken, his reaction betrays an unusual anxiety. His hands tremble slightly. The robbery itself isn't what alarms him. It's what's inside the bank that does. He immediately contacts Madeline White, a sharp, calculating fixer known for handling delicate matters with ruthless efficiency. He demands her help in protecting a very specific safety deposit box. "You tell me. I don't need to know what's in that box," she warns. But Arthur remains cryptic. The box contains something of immense personal and financial significance. Something that, if exposed, could destroy him. Back at the crime scene, two seasoned hostage negotiators, detectives Keith Frazier and Bill Mitchell, arrive. Frazier, sharp-eyed and eager to prove himself after recent scrutiny over missing evidence funds, is determined to crack the case. Mitchell balances his partner's intensity with a pragmatic approach. Their captain, Darius, briefs them on the volatile situation. Unknown number of suspects, unknown number of hostages. Inside, Dalton and his team execute their plan with unnerving precision. They separate employees from customers, asserting control. Then, Dalton demands all phones and keys. When one employee lies about not having a phone, Dalton finds it and exposes the deception. The punishment is swift, a public beating that silences any thoughts of defiance. Then comes the move that truly throws everyone off. The hostages are ordered to strip down to their underwear and wear identical jumpsuits and masks provided by the robbers. The effect is immediate. Now, no one can tell who is a hostage and who is a criminal. As the tension rises, an elderly bank employee suffers a health episode. Dalton, calculating as ever, allows him to leave, knowing a medical emergency could complicate his strategy. Seizing the opportunity, the police question the shaken man. He confirms, "There are 4 of them, and they mean business." But the detectives suspect his perspective may be incomplete. Inside, the robbers work methodically. They don't loot valuables or empty cash drawers, which confuses both the hostages and the police. Instead, they focus on an enigmatic task in a back room, one that suggests this heist isn't about money at all. As the hours pass, tension mounts. The robbers send out a hostage with a note, a list of demands, including buses and a jet. To up the stakes, Dalton claims the bank is rigged with explosives. Frazier, however, isn't convinced. "We're not giving them anything," he tells his team. "Not until I speak to them directly." Then, Arthur Case unexpectedly arrives at the police command center, offering to arrange a plane for the robbers. The move raises eyebrows. Why is the owner of the bank so invested in this? Frazier presses him for answers, but Case dodges every question. Meanwhile, the robbers request food for the hostages, a strategic decision. The police seize the chance to plant a hidden recording device in the delivery. But when they listen back, what they hear isn't a conversation, it's a speech in Albanian. A construction worker in the crowd recognizes it. That's Enver Hoxha, the former leader of Albania. Realization dawns. The robbers had fed the police a meaningless recording, another layer of misdirection. As the police struggle to decipher the true goal of the heist, Dalton and his team complete their mission. They open a single safety deposit box, removing a set of incriminating documents and a handful of diamonds. The documents reveal a dark secret. Arthur Case built his fortune by collaborating with the Nazis during World War II, laundering money and profiting from stolen Jewish assets. Now Dalton has leverage. Madeline White confronts him directly inside the bank, offering him a deal. $2 million and a reduced sentence in exchange for the documents. But Dalton refuses. "These papers are my insurance," he says. "If I get caught, they keep me alive." As the police grow restless, Captain Darius orders a raid. The SWAT team storms the bank, but they find nothing. No robbers, no stolen goods, not even the supposed dead hostage from earlier. Adding to the mystery, the robbers' weapons turn out to be fake, realistic, but entirely harmless. Days later, Frazier, still unsettled, reviews the case. Something doesn't add up. He returns to the bank and notices a small detail, a storage room that had been sealed shut. He pries it open and discovers a hidden compartment. Inside, sitting quietly, is Dalton Russell. He smirks, steps out, and walks right past Frazier, disappearing into the city, unseen and unstoppable. The perfect crime. The perfect getaway. Dalton didn't escape the bank. He never left. Thanks for watching, guys. Kindly subscribe to Movie Matrix for more movie recaps. Also like and share. See you in the next movie.